Hello, it's Erin. I have a new pen day. Now I did open this because I ordered a new case for my phone. The one that I've had for a year was starting to literally fall apart. So I got the same exact one, but a new case for my phone. And I did a tiny little impulse buy. I recently went down a Reddit rabbit hole and found a comment about a pen being more superior than a vanishing point, and so of course I had to research that, and then I realized it was a pen that I had looked into years ago, 6-7 years ago, and had opted not to get it because the price point was too high, and they have dropped the price point by over 50%, and it's no longer sold on the brand website. So this is going to be a pen that's going to be a little bit difficult to get a hold of at some point in the near future, and maybe will end up being a collector's item. Who knows? So here is the Amazon packaging and the box. The brand is Pilot. So it's a gray box. It has some tape. And thank you, Dag, for pointing out the Olfa, OLFA brand is used a lot in crafting, sewing. And yes, it is sold on the Hobonichi website. So there's the Pilot box. It's like a hard plastic. Why am I having a hard time opening it? There we go. All right, so we've got a black cartridge. I can't read this, but I would imagine it gives information about the pen. Might be warranty information as well. No clue. Use and care guide. And then on this bed of velvet is the pen. I'm just going to pull that out. Nothing is underneath. And I'm going to close, actually, I'll put these back in. And I'll close that and put it off to the side. Now, when I did my research, I know that this pen does not come with a converter. I have one ready to go. So let's open up this plastic. All right. Now, has anyone seen this pen? I did do some searching on YouTube the last couple of days. There are videos. There's one from Goulet from about 10 years ago, and there was one from, I can't remember his name. I think it was from about 10 months ago. So it's not a common pen on YouTube. So it's the Pilot Fermo Japan. So this pen is like a vanishing point. It actually, when I got my vanishing point, again, about 6 years ago, this pen was close to double the price. So this retails for between $300 and $400. I paid less than half of that. So it is a very dark green. Might look a little bit black, but it's actually a very dark green. And this pen has a turning mechanism. So when you turn it, oh, and it has a safety feature where if you don't turn it all the way and you let it go, the nib goes back in. So you turn it and the nib comes out. Turn, nib comes out. Turn, nib comes out. So let's open this up. Okay, so that looks like the cartridge cover. And the nib unit, which is an 18 karat gold. So it's the same nib unit as a Pilot Vanishing Point, which means it will be, you could swap it out. So I have an extra fine, a fine, and a medium nib unit for the Pilot Vanishing Point. I can swap any of those out. Now in the cartridge cover is an empty cartridge. This can absolutely be used to put ink in and put that in, and it's actually going to have a much better ink capacity than the converter. But this is compatible with a Con 20 through a Con 50. The number 20, 40, 50 has to do with the amount of ink capacity that the converter has. So this is the ink converter that we're going to use. And so that's going to go in. Very similar to the Vanishing Point, has that little notch, or the Moonman A1. It's going to go right in there. And then twist, close. And again, it's got that release where, that safety mechanism where if you don't twist it all the way, the nib goes down. So if it's in your bag or your pocket and it starts to twist, the nib will go right back down. So let's see, what are we going to ink this up with? Let's grab this and see. I think I might want to use Burnt Walnut by Birmingham Pen Company. So I'm actually going to do a syringe fill. Just because I've never liked dipping the Vanishing Point or the Pilot nib unit. I always get very nervous that I'm going to drop it in. Something bad's going to happen. So I just don't do it. All right, let's prime the nib just a little bit. There we go. So I look to see a little bit of glistening under here when I talk about priming the nib to see if it looks like the ink has gotten down there. Oh, I like that little curvature there. It almost reminds me of the Peloton clip. All right. Oh, haha, habit. I was already like the Vanishing Point. That's going to be funny. Yep, and it writes right away. Now, I actually really like the clip placement for the capless pens for Pilot. I feel like it helps me to get my hands in the right position. Or get my fingers in the right position, I should say. So this is a Pilot Fermo with a fine nib unit. It is a dark green, and it's inked up with Birmingham Pen Company burnt walnut. Oh, I really like that. Now that's no pressure. Let's see if I do just a little bit. Not a ton of line variation, and I am not going to mess with this beautiful nib. Now I saw on Goulet Pens, they did a demonstration where they just placed the nib on the paper and dragged it to see if the weight of the pen would write, and this one does. Look at that. So this, you need no pressure, which you really shouldn't with a fountain pen, but absolutely need no pressure. Now I did see on one review a comment about it being back heavy, maybe because of this turning mechanism right here. It does have some weight in the back, and I certainly can speak to how I feel about that as I write with it more. As of this moment, I kind of like it, but let me get a little bit more time writing with it and see how I feel about that. So here is the Pilot Fermo Capless in dark green. Oh, it's so pretty. Very professional, very polished, very beautiful. Love this.